Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Viktoriya Cole here with a fun DIY for your kids. You can either get your kids involved or do it yourself for them. It's basically a little storage cart for their toys. Mila likes to pull and push things, so I thought this would be a fun DIY for me to do for her. So what you need is a wooden crate. You can pick it up at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or Lowe's. Some spray paint or some regular paint if you wanted to actually use your brush. It might take you a little bit longer. A plastic chain, a little bracket, also from Hobby Lobby. Not Hobby Lobby, Lowe's. But I will link all those items for you guys below, including the size of these nuts and bolts and the screws that I use. That way you can get the exact items that you need, as well as some caster wheels. These are also from Lowe's, and I bought some rubber ones to make sure that my hardwood floors don't get ruined. So let's get started. So the first thing that I did was I measured my the area that I was going to place the bracket that actually will hold the chain or the string if you decide to use a string instead of a chain. Basically just mark it. I would highly recommend that you place it at least 1.5 inches below the actual handle opening, wherever you actually can pick up the crate, because if you do it too close to the opening, when you drill, the wood will crack, just because it is more of a softer wood. It's not as thick and it's not as hard, heavy duty wood, so you want to make sure that you are kind of gentle with it. So I marked it and then basically used a drill bit to drill nice holes, and wanted to make sure that my bracket actually fits right through. So I had to drill and then place the bracket in, measure it, make sure it fits, drill some more, and to make sure that the opening was just the right size for the bracket, so it's not too loose, but it actually was firm against the crate, so that it actually does its function, which is help with the pulling and the pushing mechanism. So the second thing you want to do is take it outside, especially if you're using spray paint, and actually spray paint it. And I placed it on top of a trash bag, and I had to hold it down with the rocks because it was windy at that day. So if you wanted to have more of a rustic look like what I had, I actually used black spray paint and then topped it off with some gold paint. But I actually did not like how it ended up looking, so I actually went back in and used this quick color black paint and completely sprayed it over with black paint. But it's super easy to do. I would allow maybe a day for it to dry, just so that you don't have any areas that may have some crevices that may have some wet paint, and it's perfect to do it on a windy day because it dries pretty quickly. So as you can see, my holes are ready, and I can actually place the bracket. So what I'm doing is just basically measuring it, and then taking the chain, this plastic chain you can get for like 68 cents at Lowe's. I basically took off the piece that was loose and attached it through the bracket, and then used the nuts to secure it at the back with the plate so that it doesn't move around. And then I am using these nuts and bolts, as well as some drywall screws to attach the caster wheels. So with the caster wheels, I wanted to make sure that I at least use 2 drywall screws to screw through the actual thick area, which is both sides of the crate. It's still going to crack because this wood is definitely softer, so you want to make sure that you don't use too long of a screw and it's not too thick, because you will definitely split the wood. So I would highly suggest getting maybe like 1.5 inch screw that's very thin, and use it to screw on both sides, and then use a drill bit to drill 2 holes so that you can attach those nuts and bolts that I showed you guys before. And I actually attached them incorrectly. I attached the nuts and the bolts from the back to the front, and the front basically was the actual inside of the crate, which had the nuts. So I decided to actually turn it around and put the nuts or the bolts through the actual inside of the crate and then attach the nuts. So I'm showing you the right way that I actually fixed it, but these are all 4 wheels attached. The chain is attached. You can also attach a heavy duty rope if you wanted to do that, but I just thought this chain was kind of fun, and I'm showing you exactly how I attached that little hook bracket, which you can pick up at Lowe's also for like $1.50. So I'm just cleaning it off, and that's it. Very simple and easy project to do, either by yourself or with your kids. Of course, Mila's not old enough for this, but it's super smooth, especially if you get the caster wheels from like Lowe's or any of those specialty hardware stores that are rubber. It's not going to ruin your floors, but it'll be a fun way for your kids to play with their toys, push it and pull it, and also a great way to teach them to clean up in the evening and take all those toys back into their room. That was my main purpose for creating this crate, was just so she has another toy to play with, because she likes the pulling and the pushing, and I thought that this would be a great way for her to be able to bring her toys into the living room during the day and bring them back into her room in the evening when she's ready to go take a nap. And if you have more than one kid, you can definitely create another crate and attach it like a train, or you can do them separately. So this is the first time I'm actually showing it to her after her nap, and she wasn't really sure what to do with the chain, so I had to show it to her several times how to push it, but she was super excited about it. She's still kind of getting used to it. If you're going to use it for the kids to actually climb in there and sit while the other kid pushes them or pulls them, I would definitely suggest that you either go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get a nice thick wood board piece cut, and then make sure that you either staple it or screw it to the bottom before putting the caster wheels, just so it has enough support, because the wood at the bottom is definitely thin, and it could break easily if the kids are over 30 or 40 pounds. So if you're going to use that for that purpose, I would highly suggest you to get that kind of a board. But this was a fun project. Mila definitely enjoyed it. I'm sure she's going to utilize this as she continues to grow and play more with her toys and be more interactive, especially when baby brother comes along. But she had a lot of fun. As you can see, she's pulling it and pushing it. She really enjoyed it. But thanks for watching, you guys. Please subscribe to our channel, and I will see you guys next time in my next video.